لتشريف هذه اللجنة. وبدون أن أطيل عليكم فإنني أحيل الكلمة.
What we must all hope is that a new era of human rights in Iraq will now begin with the end of the war. And here, in the first instance, I hope the coalition will set an example by making clear that they intend to act strictly within the rules set down by Geneva Conventions and the Hague Regulations regarding the treatment of prisoners of war, and by demonstrating through their actions that they accept the responsibilities of the occupying power for public order and safety and the well-being of the civilian population. The decision to go to war without specific authorization by the Security Council has created deep divisions that will need to be bridged if we are to deal effectively, not just with the aftermath of Iraq, but with other major challenges on the international agenda. The threats to international peace and security, of which we have become so much more acutely conscious in the last few years, may require a searching review of the adequacy of existing instruments with a view to coming up with a collective response. I say collective response because I believe, and I remain convinced as ever, that we are all safer, the large and powerful, as well as the small and the weak, in a system where all are governed by the international rule of law and principles set out in the United Nations Charter.
Political process, the NATO process will be generated from the NAC, and it will be expressed in a formal way if it comes down to the to me as the Allied commander. To date, I have received no guidance and no instructions to do any planning of any sort, and so we're not doing that here. As yet, we're fully focused on ISAF 4 and our ongoing missions. But if it did come that we were tasked to do that, of course, we would be prepared to do so, and we'll just have to wait and see what the political will is.
Конечно. Меня отправили, но мы говорили, мы выйдем в плане второго, поэтому вдруг мы там...
Подавляющее большинство государств разделяет такой подход, поэтому сейчас важно, чтобы выйти на соответствующее решение. Но еще раз хочу повторить, что речь идет о частичной и временной приостановке этих санкций. Что же касается полной отмены санкций, то этот вопрос должен решаться самостоятельно на основе тех резолюций Совета Безопасности ООН, которые на этот счет принимались. Поэтому сейчас речь не идет ни о каких вето или не вето, сейчас идет речь о том, какие меры принять и срочно принять для того, чтобы содействовать, помочь иракскому народу в преодолении той сложной гуманитарной ситуации, с которой Ирак столкнулся в результате войны.
Good afternoon. What I was saying was that we need independent verification of the discoveries that I'm confident we will make in due course. I simply said that I do not necessarily believe that it has to be the United Nations that provides that independent verification, but clearly the United Nations could be one of the organisations that does so.
And with the resolutions, though, that require UN verification?
Well, that's something that we will have to discuss when we come to the question of lifting sanctions.